Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sons, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration. Yes, it is Wednesday, April the 19th, 2023. And today the topic is When in Doubt. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope that you all had a wonderful day yesterday. Mine was just fine. I was a little bit, like I said, still in the place of just trying to figure out what's going on in my life and everything like that. And I was going back and forth as I tend to do. But I mean, everything worked out. It's pretty good. I ended up talking to my homeboy. Do y'all remember Mr. Bro Bites? Yeah, I ended up talking to Derek yesterday a couple of times. So that was awesome. Unexpected, but right on time. And what else happened yesterday? I had a meeting yesterday. Like I said, I was up in the air about how I was feeling about everything. But afterwards, I started my task and things started to align and make sense. So I was like, you know what, Lord? Okay. Okay. And yeah, NJ took a class yesterday, and those were the main things. Those were the main things that happened yesterday. Today's gonna be kind of busy, y'all. Got quite a few things to do. But I guess I'll talk about that in the after show. Let's get into this conversation about when in doubt. Because today was one of those mornings where again my mind was all over the place at some point. I guess I started to receive a revelation about the dream that I was asked to interpret. So I was like, okay, Lord. And so I started to, share information about that. And then ultimately, right when I was sitting here wondering, like, do I have a topic for today? What's the deal? X, Y, and Z. God put it on my heart and mind. A random phrase. It was, you know what, Lord, I wasn't intending on telling this part, but here it is. So random things came into my heart and mind. And one of the things, I don't know if this is a meal or what, but it was duck and cheddar rolls. I'm like, I've never had that. I've had cheddar rolls probably before, but I've never had duck. I know of. Now my grandmother-in-law might have cooked the goose, but anyway, duck and cheddar rolls. And I went to Open Bible Info and looked up duck and cheddar rolls. I know that sounds crazy, but I did because it came to my mind, and I'm like, what? Anyway, and so then from there, I was looking at some of the verses, and a couple of verses stood out to me. One was talking about a devout man, excuse me, hiccuping, y'all. One was talking about a devout man, Cornelius. Actually, when I went deeper, I realized it was talking about Cornelius. But when I read it, it just said a devout man, da, 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 da. And then the next verse that stood out to me was devote. And I can't remember what that verse was saying, and I know devout and devote is different. But I looked them both up because they stood out. They stood out to me. And I was like, okay, interesting. So then I ended up going deeper about the story about Cornelius and everything like that. Y'all should be familiar with it. If not, y'all can go a little deeper, look up Cornelius in the Bible and read the whole account. But long story short, it pretty much talks about, how Cornelius was over here and I guess needed some type of information that Paul had, and God was working with both of them, sending Cornelius and his people to Paul, and not Paul, excuse me, Peter. And then Peter was praying, and he had set before him, the unclean food and all of that. And God told him 3 times, don't call something unclean that I call clean, X, Y, and Z. And so, yeah, so I was reading that account and everything was, resonating and whatnot. But I guess what stood out to me is that basically after Peter's prayer, there was a moment, he received the word, right? He got it 3 times, right? But there was something that still doubted in his heart and mind. He still kind of was like trying to figure it out. And hey, I maybe I'm guilty of being in that place right now. I've been telling y'all about this opportunity and everything like that. I guess it's kind of set in stone, but at the same time, maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll wait on when I tell y'all or whatever completely. But I'll just keep sharing the pieces of the story that I feel like the Lord wants me to share. So I've been sharing with you guys that I've been going back and forth mentally about a particular opportunity. And on one hand, I feel like there's a green light, an open door, everything like that. But on the flip side, I've been doubting, having a little bit of like trying to make sure that this is from God, X, Y, and Z. So I understand, right? Anybody that comes to the place where they may doubt, what they see, they may doubt what they're experiencing, they might even doubt God, right? And all of these different things. And so, that is ultimately where the inspiration came from this morning. And I went deeper about that. And I guess, I have a little bit to share. The Lord always gives me a little bit to share. So the interesting thing is, after I read that account about Peter and things like that, and I did look up the definition of doubt, which I'll read it. I'm pretty sure I've read it before, but I'll read it, brand new. Every day is brand new, right? So yeah, I'll read it. But I also came across a few other articles as well, and that's what's in the Go Deeper section. Hopefully something that would help us today if we are experiencing doubt of any kind, if whether it's doubt for God or maybe doubt for the path that he's leading you down, or whatever the case may be, y'all, for you. Hopefully it encourages you and inspire you today. So the definition of doubt says a feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction. Yes, a feeling of uncertainty, y'all. Hey, like I said, I've been very honest on here that over the past few weeks and probably months or however long I've been talking to y'all about this one particular situation. I've been doubting, and not that I doubt the Lord, it's more so I'm doubting, let's just say, me or my motives. Like I said, I think in this particular time of my life, if it has a smidge or if it gives me like a little bit of, not say anxiety, but like, how can I explain it? Like, if there's a little bit of conflict when it comes to the things that the Lord is doing with me, for me, and through me in this season, then I think that's where some of my doubt comes from now, because I'm like, hey, Lord, I've been open. I've been, wanting to do the thing, do your will, do things your way, X, Y, and Z. And again, there's just so many open doors, y'all. Like, even outside of the one I'm sitting here talking about, there, like, the Lord has been blessing you, girl. Like, I don't know why. Well, hey, favor, I guess, but there's just, for example, there's so many different people and organizations or companies, whatever the case is, that want to partner with me. There's just so many different things like that going on, where it's like, Lord, okay, I know my husband think I'm Superwoman, and hey, maybe in the back of my mind I feel like I'm Superwoman too, but can I do it all? Can I have it all? I'll try, and everything like that. But I am just one person and stuff, so I'm sure there's going to be plenty that I have to delegate and stuff like that. On top of, again, the things that are already on my heart and mind to do, right? Speaking of that, man, shout out to those of you all that are showing your girl favor and love, showing this platform, not just me, y'all. Because again, I try to remind y'all, it's beyond me. It's definitely beyond me at this point. But I just want to take some time to just say that those of y'all that follow me on social media, you may already know that yesterday we hit a goal of 500 subscribers. So we finally hit that goal, and everything like that. And so again, for me, all of these things are, fruit. You know what I mean? It shows growth. It shows success. Even though people may be like, oh, people out here got 500 billion. You talking about 500? But hey, I'm thankful for the 500 plus of y'all that have decided to embark on this journey of GSL and open your hearts and minds to the things that, we share here. Like, at the end of the day, y'all don't have to watch this content. There's plenty out here, and so I appreciate the 500, and I'm thankful for this process of going through this whole thing with GSL, because I think God has started to show me to be able to celebrate each milestone and be able to, like, actually see how he's moving in each thing that's going on in my life. And so again, right now, I feel like there's a lot of open doors, open windows, things like that in my heart and, in my life. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is great. I know what it feels like to have the door closed. So by all means, when the doors and windows is open, I'm excited, right? But on the flip side, again, I do understand that every good idea is not a God idea, and maybe everything might not be for me and everything like that. And so that's why, at the end of the day, I could totally understand if people have doubt, right? God may be opening the door and you may be like, are you sure that's where you want me to go, Lord? It looks a little, it looks like there's gonna be some stumbling blocks over there. You sure? But hey, I think there's something to seeking the Lord and everything like that. So again, we're talking about when in doubt. So let's see, what should we do when we are in doubt? Again, y'all can check out the Go Deep section. Both of those articles have some good things in regards to being in doubt and things like that. But here's something that stood out to me, and I can't remember where I saw it, but at some point this morning, I saw this quote. It says, doubt is the growing pains of faith. And that resonates with me, because I totally understand that. At the end of the day, again, the more I doubt, the more I seek the Lord. The more I doubt, the more I ask the questions, the more I look into, more material, whatever it is that the Lord is leading me to do, the more I focus on doing those things to get an understanding, so I won't be in doubt or confusion. And so, so if you're in doubt, y'all, don't feel bad about it. I know, especially as a believer, you can feel like, oh, well, if I doubt God, does this mean that, I'm sinning? Or if I doubt God, does this mean that I'm not X, Y, and Z? I think hopefully this encourages you and inspires you to know what this quote says. Doubt is the growing pains of faith. So let's get into some Bible, okay? Let's share some verses here. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. We know it, but here it is. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your way, acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Friends, I know this is like a repeat verse. I feel like I might be reading it every day. I don't know, but maybe we need to be reminded that this is what we need to do. Even in the midst of doubt, even in the midst of fear, even in the midst of walking a path where you're not sure. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, Lord, I'm not sure. I'm going to keep walking, though, because I trust in you, but I'm not. It looks a little scary over there, but I'm going to keep going. And, I think there's something to that. I feel like Jesus did that himself, was an example of that. Hey, Lord, if there's another way, but I'll go ahead and do it, if it's your will. But, technically, if there's another way, I will be happy with that too. I get it. And I hope, again, that encourages you, inspires you to know that you're not alone in that mindset, but what we have to do, right, when we're in those moments, what we need to do is trust in the Lord. Actually, when I started looking up verses centered around doubting God and even this concept of when in doubt and things like that, I feel like I came across a lot of verses that were saying, talking about seeking God for wisdom and things like that. I know I've shared them on here before, but and I didn't write any of those down, but basically there's plenty of verses that tells us to basically pray. If you don't have the wisdom, you don't have the knowledge, come to God for it. So this is, again, another way to show that you trust him by communicating with him, by saying, hey, so can you give me a little bit more wisdom regarding this situation? And I'm sure he'll keep you, he'll give you as much as he want to give you. I'll just put it like that. That's been my experience. He might not give you the full picture and stuff, because I feel like even with me sharing with y'all the things I've been doubting or going back and forth about, he's been giving me a little bit and a little bit to keep me going down this path, to have enough to share with y'all, which is crazy because I'm sharing it every day. But then on the flip side, giving me, again, that little bit to hold on to my faith and trust in him. So that's the first verse. When in doubt, there you go. Trust in the Lord. So then Hebrews 11 and 6. And without faith, it is impossible to please him. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and that he rewardeth those who seek him. So, the rewards and all that stuff sounds good. And I feel like, again, yes, there are plenty of verses that, talks about having faith and whatnot. But what really stood out to me in this verse this morning is the part that those that seek him. Again, when in doubt, what I'm receiving is seek him. which probably goes again with trusting him. But I mean, maybe that's two different things as well, trusting God and then seeking him as well. So that's the part that really stood out to me this morning to share. And so let me keep going. So then Matthew 28 and 17, it says, and when they saw him, they worshiped him, but some doubted. So here's the thing. So there's there's a few things that are standing out to me in this moment. So basically, I did see this in one of the articles that I put in the Go Deeper section, I think, that touched on this concept of the people that worship God, even though they might have doubted, but they still worship, they still fellowship X, Y, and Z, and things like that. And listen, I think for me, the reason why I shared this particular verse in Juice this morning is that at the end of the day, you're not alone, right? You're not alone in this thought. I'm sitting here sharing every day that, hey, I go back and forth about a lot of stuff. I feel like God always, I told y'all just a few months ago when I got into the job at the church, and it was like my husband and my friend both was like, this is a no-brainer. This is what you've been looking for. Like, why are you going back and forth? But I'm like, there still was something that was like, oh, I don't know. Like, this is crazy. I think it was just crazy the way everything happened. That's what I think was blowing my mind, because I was like, I didn't do no interview. I mean, I don't remember doing no, like, I mean, I might have sent my information in through Indeed to the church, but outside of that, like, it was like I just was appointed into a position. You see what I'm saying? And it was crazy. It was blowing my mind, because I was like, what? You would think that, they were going to vet me a little bit or something or whatever. Like, when I sat down with them, they gave me keys. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what was blowing my mind about it. But regardless, that was a few months ago. But we see that this has been a wonderful fit in my life. The church has been a wonderful fit in my life. I mean, I've been able to do the gig. I've been able to take my son. That's been a blessing. I've been able to, I was going to church anyway, so that's a plus as well. And I've been able to use my gifts and talents there. Easter Sunday, I was doing, performing. I've been able to do my small groups. So, I was going to do that before I started working at that church. But, you know what I mean? It's just all the things came together in a beautiful way that only God did at the end of the day, And so, and I get it. Like, when things happen, you be like, huh? Is this really happening? But I guess the Lord will give you peace, right? In the midst of the confusion, in the midst of doubts and all those different things. And so there's plenty of people in the Bible. Y'all can look all of them up for yourself. There's plenty of people in the Bible that may have doubted, right? Thomas doubted that Jesus rose. You know what I mean? Like, I just told y'all about Peter and his doubt for what he received from God about the unclean things. Like, there's plenty of accounts of the people doubting. But maybe we need to do what they did in regards to still operating in faith, still trusting him, still allowing him to lead us and guide us, even through our doubts. Actually, there was one, and I probably should have wrote it down. What was the man? It was the gentleman that had the sick child, and he said, I forget the quote right now, but it's something along the lines of, he tells Jesus that he believes, but then he also, in the very next statement, he says, but help my unbelief. And that's where I think a lot of us may be, and things like that. Again, we may even doubt God. We may just doubt the path that he got us on. We may, whatever this may fits in your life, y'all. I hope that this encourages you and inspires you today, because, hey, I guess that's the juice, y'all. That is ultimately the juice this morning. Now, let's see. The Bible verse of today is 2 Thessalonians 3:3. It says, but the Lord is faithful, who shall something you, and keep your heart, keep you forever. So I think hold you, who shall hold you and keep you forever. So, I mean, I guess this was confirmation for me as well. The Bible verse of today, it just was showing me like, something about 3 has been showing me this morning. So since it was 2 Thessalonians 3:3, maybe this is just confirmation to me and to y'all that at the end of the day, the Lord is faithful and he's going to hold us and keep us forever. And hey, y'all, that is the juice. Thank you all for listening. And I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. I see I have a couple of comments. Shout out to Miss Ariel Adams this morning. Good morning to you, ma'am. Thank you for tuning in. She says, God is mind-blowing and oftentimes we can't explain, but that's how we know he did it. Amen. Amen. And she said, great conversation. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in this morning and commenting and things like that. Like I said, I hope you all are encouraged and inspired. I mean, at the end of the day, I know that, like I said, I'm sitting here sharing every day that I'm sitting here, doubting the things that God is doing. I'm over here like, wait, Lord, so you want me to do that? Are you sure? Because if it's going to conflict with what you're doing, like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, is this going to complement or conflict? Like, I've been going back and forth, but then he just been giving me like little signs here and there, to say, keep on going. I told y'all on Monday, I felt like he had said, what was it? He had told me on Monday. And I was like, okay, well, what did I write it down? I don't know, whatever it was. And I just was like, okay. And then got a little bit, then got a little bit more confirmation yesterday. And so I was like, okay. So I'm going to keep walking down the path that he has me on. And like I said, when I share the other information with y'all, I'll let y'all know. I mean, it's good. It's ultimately a good thing. But, just want to make sure, y'all. I just want to make sure. Because, like I said, there's a lot of stuff. Like, shout out to each and every one person that I guess sees something in me that, in regards to working with me and stuff like that. Like, it's a blessing. It really, truly is. Oh, hey, sister. She said, I love this because you are honest with where you are. Hey, man, I think ultimately that's what I want to show with GSL at the end of the day. Like, what it looks like. Because, again, back when I was struggling, back when I was all, single and all this different type of stuff, and was like, I just felt like it always was so sheltered or so like not real. I couldn't really relate to the different content and things that I saw back then. And I know there's plenty of people out here doing things now, and being more open and transparent and stuff now. But I hope that GSL is helping with that as well. I know it is because different people, the different guests that we've had, and Ariel, come on and be on the show now, because you got plenty of things to share with the people as well. You have a lot of things going on. Amazing designer this lady is, y'all. Let me pull her name up so y'all can go in her social medias and find her and stuff. But yeah, so so many amazing testimonies. Like, yeah, so anywho, but yeah, like I told y'all yesterday, we hit the 500 subscriber goal. Got to get that next 500 in order. Like, my husband say he gonna finally grace the channel, y'all, if we get to 1,000. That's our motivation to get him on here. So y'all keep helping me out with that. Thank you to the 500 that have already subscribed and things like that. What else is, I don't think I have much else in regards to announcements. We hit another goal in regards to amount of views on the channel, but I think I told y'all that yesterday. What else? I feel like there's something else going on, but I can't remember at the moment. So, but yeah, y'all, yeah, there's a lot of stuff, y'all, that is happening. A lot of good things. And so I'm saying, hey, as much as I'm able to do, I want to do. And yeah, that's ultimately what's going on in my life. But I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you to those that support, like, share, subscribe, all those things. And yeah, I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Because yeah, your girl today. I'm supposed to go to a meeting. What else am I doing today? The Miracle Lab. I'm supposed to be doing the Miracle Lab, Madam Miraculous. I think it's going to be the last one. Not say debating, but I'm praying and seeing if I'm going to continue to do it or not. Because it was fun to do. It's a lot because I'm creating different experiences for the kids every time I do it, and so creating something new. So that's the only thing. But we'll see if I continue it or not. Same thing with the juice, the Bible study group that I have at the church. I'm going to see what the Lord wants me to do regarding both of those small groups, but I think this week will be the last one for the the Miracle Lab, and then maybe next week will be the last one for the juice. See, lots of things going on. A lot of things going on. And so yeah, that's what today looks like. But I guess I'll let y'all know what happens tomorrow if the Lord's will. Y'all have a great Wednesday. And thank you again for those that are tuning in live. Appreciate you all. Y'all have a great day. Bye.